Hello! It is autumn here. I think I've said that a million times at this point, but I love that it's finally getting cold. So I have been pulling out all of my cold weather garments, which includes all of my beloved knitwear. So I was pulling out my Haunting Hollow Shawl. You can find the free pattern for this on Ravelry, link in the description. And I thought to myself, I really wish this tied in the back. I am slightly obsessed with those antique shawls that wrap around in the front, and I figured, while it's not necessarily the perfect shape for this, I feel like it's better when you get that sort of mantle shaping. It could be an easy adjustment to add some ties to the end. So that is what we are going to do today. For this, you will need some leftover yarn from knitting your shawl or another complementary yarn, a crochet hook or 2 double-pointed needles, and optional tassels. With our supplies gathered, let's jump on in. So, I'm going to show you 2 options. The first is crochet. I am by no means a master crocheter. I would call myself an ambitious beginner, if anything. I don't crochet with any regularity, so I constantly look up stitches, but I can comfortably read my crochet and sort of logic my way through. This, super simple. Now I'm going to be using American terms because those are the patterns that I most frequently crochet from, and I will also be using my yarn held double because that is how I knit this shawl. So to start, we'll make a slip knot. Put on our crochet hook, put the yarn on the correct side as well. And I'm just going to slip stitch this through. This still isn't on the wrong side, the right side. There we go, that's more comfortable. I'm just gonna do a slip stitch to attach it to the very corner of my yarn. All I'm going to do first is just chain out as long as I want my tie to be. Oops, that didn't really work. And I have a rough idea in my head, but we're just gonna chain this. 2 of those. So I've done about this much. So it's, I don't know, 9, 10 inches maybe. I'm gonna chain 1 more. Then I'm going to take this little guy here. I'm going to hook my hook under here, and we're going to do a single crochet to attach it. So, oh, that worked. That's 1. And then hook it back through. Look at that, it's attached. Okay. Then we're going to make sure our work is turned, and all we're going to do is work single crochets going into whatever one is easiest because I don't really care that much. And I'm just going to single crochet back along my chain, which will just give it a little bit more body. It's going to get easier, I promise. There we go. Again, not a crocheter of any regularity. I'm sure I'm making a ton of mistakes, but I think this is fun. And it's just gonna make a slightly thicker tie there, which I think is just gonna hold it around my waist a little bit better. We've come just about to the end. I'm just going to crochet this last bit, and then I'll crochet back into our starting stitch. Cut off my yarn. And thread it through. Cool. So that's option 1. And you would just weave in these ends and trim this and it becomes a little thing. But we'll get to that later. What we're gonna do now is the knitted option. We are going to take knitting needles. This was done in 5s. I think I'm going to stick with the 5s. I'd maybe go down to a 4.5, but I don't have 4.5 millimeter needles. So starting at the tip, send that over there. I am just going to pick up and knit 3 stitches. We're gonna go 1, I'm actually gonna go back 1 and pick up this. This is how I pick up and knit stitches sometimes, by the way, and then this outer one. There we go. 3. Now, this one's going to be an I-cord, so I am not going to twist my work, turn my work. I am just going to move the stitches across the needle and knit. Again. So we're just doing an I-cord stitch, shuffling the stitches along, and then knitting 3. And it's essentially just going to create a circular knitted cord on the end of our shawl, which will look nice and clean and cute. I'm going to knit this to the same length as the crocheted one, and I will see you back here because it's really hard to knit against this table. It's a little too close. Once you get it to a length that you are happy with, I've got it roughly the same length as the crocheted one. You're just going to slip 1 knitwise, oops, there we go. Knit 2 together, maybe, if you're lucky. And then pass the slip stitch over. I'm gonna break off my yarn, leaving myself a decent little tail, and thread this through. Taking our other little tassel, I'm gonna attach it using these ones. You can attach it the other way if you prefer. I just think it's easier to hide these ties in the tassel than it is to go vice versa. I'm just going to loop this around this section a few times. I am then also going to be extra nervous and tie this to its original thing, ties. And then you can just thread it into your little tassel on the end. And same with these tie ends. Then I'm just gonna open up these and weave in these ends as well. Then tie and enjoy. And that is it. I hope this was helpful. I personally love that it keeps the ends of my shawl safe and out of the way, but also keeps my body super cozy. If you want more tips on how to knit this shawl and other shawls, I do have a video from when I released this pattern. Again, you can find the links to the free pattern in the description. And if you like this video, you can check out my other videos. And if you really like this video, you can feel free to subscribe. I hope you have a lovely week. Bye!